Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Fulfilled Female Entrepreneur Podcast. It's your host, Cassandra Rosa. I am an intuitive life coach, healer, and business coach. And the mission behind this podcast is to help you to create a fulfilling life and business. Today, we're talking about how to break up with toxic positivity. Per your request, we are talking about toxic positivity and how that's actually a huge detriment for us as entrepreneurs and as human beings. And I have to admit, I am a recovering / recovered toxic positivity person. I am this person that always likes to see the bright side of things. If experiences happen, and I'm listening to a friend, I'm like, oh, like talk to me about it, express about it, and here's the positive side to it. I always like that I'm like that in life, but I've really become aware of this trait and have made some shifts so that it can be a process in which in my life I can be seen, heard, express my emotions in a healthy way, and then turn to the positive and do the same for people in my life. So, what is toxic positivity? What the heck are you talking about, Cassandra? It is when you are being positive, you are using your personal development and spiritual tools in the midst of something that is triggering to you. Immediately, that's what you turn to instead of processing the emotions and the triggers and moving through the healing process. Okay. So it's like you're putting your spiritual or positive band-aid over the situation and maybe like intuitively sweeping things under the rug. Okay. So in those moments when we go on social media, we see in books, it's like, okay, you're feeling anxious today? Well, go for a walk, right? Or do a meditation to raise your vibe. Or, like there's all these like quick solutions. But what can happen when you're doing that over and over and over and over and over again is that you are pushing the root of the issues under the rug. And then what can happen is you can have these breakdowns or blow ups for instances on like small instances that may be rooted in all the things that you have pushed down and swept under the rug all along. And this, I have to admit, happened to me. So I launched my business in 2020. Well, 2019, and it really like my first year of business was from like April 2019 to like April 2020. And I went full time in December 2019. So in the midst of the pandemic was when my business started. And a book came out, podcast, blog, courses. Like I was go, 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 Energizer Bunny. And there were some things that were happening in my personal life behind the scenes that weren't so favorable. And instead of really facing those heads on and working through the emotions, I often put on a smiley face, looked for the lessons in the scenarios, and pushed on through. And it was sweeping and sweeping and sweeping and sweeping and sweeping so much under the rug. And it kind of all blew up in 2021, 2022. And I gave this space for myself to heal. And I actually had to take a step back from things to really focus on it. And I share this with you as someone that is a positive person overall. And I really wanted to share with you my story, just in case you're going through the same. That there's instances in your life that you put on the brave face, you look for the bright side, you do the positive tools, but behind the scenes, there's lots internally that you might even not notice could be affecting you in your life. And it can come up in different ways. You may blow up about some small things and have that emotional upset. There might be unprocessed anger and trauma and all of these things behind the scenes. And some people numb themselves from their inward reality, turning to like drugs and like alcohol or food or even working out like obsessively, those things can happen because of the unprocessed trauma, emotional things that are happening behind the scenes. And for some of us, we just put the band-aid of positivity over it and the fake smiles on our face. So when people are saying, "How are you feeling?" You're like, "Oh, I'm feeling amazing." But inside, you can be hurting. And I didn't realize it, but that was something that I was doing for a couple of years. And thankfully, I put a stop to it. It became awareness of this trait inside of me. So now I do things differently. I really focus on expressing emotions as things come up. It may be an excuse me, I need to go deal with this if it's involving someone else. It may mean, hey, I need to shift our call today, for a client. It's giving yourself that space to process the emotions, express what's going on. And that might look differently for everyone. Some people are journalers. I love to do that. It can also be confiding in a friend, a coach, a therapist to move through and process things. So it's better instead of just putting a band-aid on it, allowing it to heal, breathe, and express so that that energy is moved, that weight is lifted, and you also have this space to see yourself and to hear yourself out. So when these triggers happen, it can activate parts of ourselves and our inner children. It's allowing that inner child work to be processed, those triggers and traumas to be processed, so that we can then focus on the bright side, the lessons, the breakthroughs, the important reasons that this happened in our lives. So instead of putting a band-aid on some things that are going on behind the scenes in your life, give yourself that space to process your emotions, your thoughts about that situation. Ask for help from professionals, whether it's therapists or coaches or healers, to work through what's coming up for you so that you can be in this space of true healing, true happiness, true fulfillment, true embodiment of who you are, and allowing all parts of yourself to show up to the occasion. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I'll upload a new video on Thursday. See you in the next one. Bye.